Tavares, I'm sorry to interrupt, but can you mute the computer that's in the back, because the sound keeps switching back and forth. So we need Joe's computer or the 6 point computer muted so that we can focus on this computer, because it keeps switching back and forth.
No problem.
Thank you.
Guys, let's just have some house. We're here for a community meeting. Please, ma'am, will you please let me speak? I respect you and I listen to you, but I deserve the same respect. We're here for a community meeting to find solutions. This is a safe space. We respect your opinion. We want to hear them. But what we're not going to do is argue back and forth with each other. We are here to talk about a serious issue that we have to get to the bottom. Okay? So if somebody, let me finish, please. If somebody has the floor, please respect the speaker. We don't need to be screaming. We don't need to be doing anything. If you have questions, we will get to you. Councilwoman wants to hear from you. Let's be respectful and let's have a candid conversation for solutions.
Please respect the time. May I say something, President? I'm talking about that. The strategy that we use, I'm going to be honest with you, the leadership, and I'm just saying, did not want to support it. That was that key. But we said, okay, that's not what it's about. It was about activism. Okay? It was about activism, so we didn't care about whether that we supported from north, south. There was guys from the north, south, and that's that one. So the people that had the east end, that we had I guys, it's all the statements on the south side. We had everything on each side of the campaign. It's okay. I talk about what worked, okay? Because you probably wasn't here then. You were saying. So I'm talking about what worked, all right? So what happened was, what we did was to collaborate and okay? And we got the project, the business continued, they were able to, budget it, but the project, let me just say, I appreciate what Tavares is. And I appreciate your knowledge and your experience. I appreciate all of your knowledge and experience. And we all have something to offer. This is Joe's meeting, it's not my meeting. When I have my meeting, I will have an agenda, and that's the agenda that we will follow. What we want to do tonight is to allow Joe to have her meeting. And let's just make a comment. Your statement is a statement. So I'm going to do the city council thing. You know, if you got a statement that you want to make, and it's 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, fine. But that way we give everybody their 3 minutes to say what they have to say. We can have a training session, okay? We can do a history. We can do analysis of things that have worked and things that haven't worked. We can talk about what has been done, what hasn't been done. But for tonight, Joe has an agenda. And Joe, I'm going to apologize for you opening up the questions because I only wanted to make sure that there were some questions that I needed to answer, that I would answer. But this is your meeting, you have an agenda, and your agenda follows a lot of what we made a commitment to yesterday and other things, and I appreciate, and I'll participate as always.
just if you're gonna have it. You just go, and then you not allowed. Look at it. New York City. New York City must take this here. Take this. Well, outside of New York, you're gonna have that kind of stuff. Years that allow that type of stuff. And so, young people don't have much. We have a meeting people. We have a lot of take it. That's how they make their money. That's how they make it. Too much of the dollar. I mean, gambling, you get alcohol, cigarettes, stuff. That's it. Take the money out of here. Too much of the dollar.
And that's exactly where we are. So what we want to do with the store, and again, you need to know this, for the store itself, we need the community agreement. Okay, we need a community agreement with the store. And what that agreement to say things like, you have to keep the
going with that one. You know, I think the reason why we do see black voters opening up their minds to different parties is because Democrats are trying to keep this abortion debate front and center.
Every day, 24 hours a day, I have to put up a policy fence just to get some policy to work in my backyard. Because from the time that store opens up until it closes.
Would you support a fund for individuals like myself who need to take time?
Somebody's on the phone, can you mute me? Here. And from the time he opens that door, there's people standing all day. They're armed right after that shooting that was right across from my house on the end of my fence. Just like it went that way, it could have come my way and damaged my house and my property, and not to mention my daughter and me. We had to hit the floor 3 times in 1 week. We had to hit the floor. So you want to talk about hell a cannibal? Yes, he is a cannibal with what goes on and on those premises when he's older. He should be held accountable. You have a trash can over there. We have a trash can on the sidewalk. And where's all the trash? On the ground. And the wind blows it. We have to clean them around every day around that pot every day across the street. Yes, he should be held accountable. And perhaps somehow, and I don't know yet, but that's not in this property, but off this property, if there continues to be a lot of trash and things of that nature, well, we can have that in agreement that we wanted to do it, but I don't think we can hold the time. It's not what goes on that property, what they are operating. That's what I feel responsible about what goes on our property. And if we don't do what is mandated for us to do, then we get a citation. But that's what we need to do. Yes. So what can we do this evening? What can we do before we leave? Okay, this is what we want to do, okay? We want to come up with that community agreement, okay? Perhaps we can talk about some ideas of what to go in that community agreement tonight. Okay. Yeah. But that's the goal. That's the goal, is to come up with that community agreement. We may not come with it tonight, but everybody has this in their mind, right? That's what we want to do. So we want to make sure that we come up with that agreement, and we want everybody, I need to get everybody's information to make sure that we have it, so we can share this. And we can come up with that agreement. I can get what Ella is already saying, and it's our agreement. And they did actually bring up a bill, and I'm just going to read the partial, I just kind of showed it. And Virginia House Bill HB 2131 says this bill also expands the definition of criminal black, for which the locality may require a property owner to take corrective action to include a condition existing on real property that endangers public health or safety and is caused by 1, the regular presence on a property of persons in possession of controlled substances, and 2, the discharge of a firearm under certain conditions. So we need to, that itself is a House bill that we can use, because this is what's happening on the property, and we want to incorporate this in. Okay? Yes.
My name is Anthony Ford. I'm from a high school basketball referee, so I can all my hockey kids. But I went to the store and they were smoking marijuana.
Right.
And see, now I'm old school. I'm 50 years old. I'm not gonna take nothing to younger kids. I know they get quick. So I just told her on that kid, you know you're smoking marijuana. He looked at me like I was doing that. So I just got what I need to get bumped up. So they said, he don't care. So he has gotta go. Come on the spot. I'm with you 100%. We got a league called RVAD. Safe Street Basketball League with police departments. Our money is official. And hospitals. And we are trying to save our young people.
There are things that are enforceable, House Bill which has been read. There's enforceable things that the ABC board, City of Richmond, and others are responsible for enforcement. Okay? So yeah, there may be things like trying to get legislation passed that requires that every business, because of the same reasons that we're talking about sports litter and so forth, will be required to have clean the perimeters of their business. That's more the right of way to the middle of the street, okay? Upon all corners of their business. That's legislation that we try to put in place. There are some council persons that don't want to do that. Don't ask me why. I mean, not want to do that. Just want to get a parking lot or a big truck. Every business. So there are enforcement tools that are already on the book that many of what we put, and that's the reason why I'm saying, you think about this, let's make sure you ask that type of question. If I put this into agreement, is it enforceable, right? Those are the kinds of things as a community we need to make sure that we are flushing out.
What did you do? Did you get candy? You got candy? Ooh.
Again, that's only to the point that they actually signed it. And then to your point with the contract, that I've agreed that if I don't meet the term, that this is the outcome. I have to. But I'm just thinking like there's nothing requiring them to sign the agreement. So if they don't, then we don't have that contract. So then what is our leverage then? If again, we just agreement and they're like, no, I have no intention of signing. And just that's something that we want to think about, so that we actually have some legs to stand on for these agreements. I don't know.
Every one of these businesses have a liquor license. And every year, they have to go up to the board for the renewal of their license, okay? So there are things in place that we can have strategic repairs, which we are talking about in this case. And like I started this conversation, agreement is at least between people, okay? It's not one-sided. So the community has got to honor and respect things that we are accountable and responsible for, as well as what we want to accountable. And it's not just this one thing, but my center was signed this because he's a community guy, okay? Others may do the same thing, but we got to start where we have had verdicts. We have had lots of people overdose on this property. So the issue that we're talking about is safety and health. And it's not put somebody on this necessarily, but it will distance is the safety, welfare, and health of our community. You could be walking down the street. You could have been walking down the street. Some guy comes from across the street from some, shooting at random. So they're not going to solve the world's problems. And they're big. They're real. And they're good cost time why some focus about then we have partners, all of our businesses being partners, working with us.
testify, we can fill up the room. Maybe many people we can overboard. And say these are the concerns and these are the problems. And this is why they don't need their life back. And if 50% of your bill is slot machine and liquor and alcohol, if you don't have a liquor license,
And someone said that the business feel the same way we feel, and they're looking for solutions, so we're gonna help.
and I think people will be quite surprised. Councilwoman Burke said that we have reported about all of the crimes that have occurred there. And when you see the list of crimes that take place inside on that property,
Did you go to the move?
it's mine. It's mine. So it's not, shooting here and there. This is consistent. The list is as long as you can imagine.
We want to open it up for anybody online. We have some comments in the chat room here. And we want to open it up for anybody online.
Yeah, I have a quick question. And it's genuine curiosity. Why aren't they doing anything yet? And I know that's seems like a really obvious and like big, almost a dumb question, but if we're asking them to enter into this community agreement and we want them to have this community buy-in, which I completely agree they need to have, they're part of this community, do we understand why there's so much hesitancy at this point to do anything about it up until this point? And what blocks do they see? Like, what are the challenges that they see that are preventing them from contributing to these solutions? Because I have a hard time believing that the agreement is going to just completely change their behavior, especially if we don't know why their behavior is, why they don't have any buy-in now. Like, what's preventing them from taking a more active role in asking people to leave around their business and trying to, I'm sure they don't want people being shot on their property. That's probably the case. So what is contributing to it, and how can we, not that it's our job to mitigate that by any means, but how can we play a role in making sure that they feel supported, if there is anything we can do to make them feel supported, to make sure that there's buy-in on our side for them making these changes?
One thing I think everybody should answer, but one reason I think is because we're talking about their customers and we're talking about their money. This is the people that purchase their alcohol and their cigarettes and play the slot machines. That's one reason I believe that they're not, that they haven't done anything. Another thing is they don't live in the community, so they really don't have any buy-in. That's my thought.
So, Joe, I guess another way to look at this too is, if the gentleman is saying that he's going into the store and observing people smoking marijuana in the store, and he goes to the business owner is nonchalant and acts as if nothing is wrong, then we should be asking the question, why haven't they taken a more aggressive approach to tell people you cannot smoke marijuana in the store? Why have they not posted signs that say no marijuana allowed on the premises?
If I could say something, I've been in there before when they have tried to diffuse situations or get people to stop smoking or get the people, that are just hanging out in there to leave, and those people become physically aggressive towards them. So, I think they're scared also. If they go out there and try to get people to leave the parking lot and, they don't have support from the community or from the police when they call them, they're scared too. So, I feel for them too. They are, when they say they are scared, they truly are scared, because like I said, when I've been in there and they've tried to get things in order, it does not go well for them. They get attacked also.
They do have I've seen personally, the guy is security for them. Those couple of guys, they have a gun working on him. I've seen him personally. So he'll be on
safety hazard. And Councilwoman Liaison, and all of you all have all of the answers. I was on the Zoom and then I ran over here. I said, I'm going to find where they are because I wanted to be in the presence of where God was doing things. You all have the correct answers. You just put them together. I stepped out to take a call because it was a captain, it was Captain Mayers, I don't mind saying it, over in Southside, and I wanted to make sure it's called a trespassing agreement. And every business, you all can ask them, and you're asking them to sign an agreement. It's called a trespassing agreement. And it's an agreement between the police department and the business. So that if a bothering or trespassing, then the business automatically gives the police the right to go up and arrest them without them even going to the business owner. So that's one agreement that is already in place, and the business owners have to sign. And I was able to implement that a lot in South Richmond. Now we still have a lot of problems, but that's one thing I wanted to share with you all. And I just got it from one of the police captains of Richmond to make sure that he said it's called a trespassing agreement. The other years, he said the part of that agreement says that when that person is arrested, then the store owner agrees to come to court and say, yes, I did not give that person permission to be on the property. That means that they can arrest that person after hours as well as during hours. So that people that fail, they can be arrested. The other is, please be encouraging what you all are doing. Believe me, it worked. Because I wanted to stop being president of the Civic Association, but they won't let me go. Because I'm one that comes out just like you all and say enough is enough. But to Councilwoman's statement, it's extremely important to have the agreement with the owner. I saw the owner on TV saying, security. One of the security officers, let's put it this way, one of the persons that got shot that night, one of the three, I was on the phone with him as I pulled up here. And he said he really wish he could be in this meeting because he wants y'all to know that that current store owner is trying his best to do what is possible and his will. He said he was the one that worked security there. And he worked before the flyers, he worked security for the flyer store. That's why he just happened to be out there. Because he was talking with some of the neighbors that was hanging around saying, man, don't do it. Don't hang around. So there's two sides to the story. And the only way, the best side, is you all coming together because it's better together. So I came to encourage you, not to take away from what you're doing. But I got real excited listening at the Zoom and saying, hey, this is a community that's doing something, want to do something, and they have all the tools. Telling woman is correct. Because some stores, when they see me, they almost swing the door because they know I'll go to the ABC board in a minute and say, this is not what we want. May not mean they're going to shut it down, but it gives them a hard time. And they don't want a hard time from the ABC board because that's, like she said, Councilwoman said 50%, it's almost 65% of the game. Almost 65% of it comes from alcohol sales, lottery tickets, and of course the game shows.
Okay, anybody else online? Anybody else online had any questions?
Hey Joe, can you hear me? This is Acting Chief Rick Edwards. Well, listen, yeah, Mr. Willis, I just want to clarify one thing. We do have a trespassing agreement. It does require, if the business is open, we have to have the clerk tell us which person they've told to leave and they're refusing to leave before we can arrest them. If it's after hours, we can arrest them on the property. So I just want to be real clear with that. And like you said, Mr. Willis, we do require someone to come to court as the owner of the property or even the manager to come in and say that they told the person to leave and they refused. Otherwise, it'll get kicked in court and we can write them a summons and they will walk right back out. Just want to make everyone clear on that one. But it's been a great conversation listening on our end.
Do you have problems with the owners coming to court?
Yes. But that is another tool in our toolbox. We're gonna be releasing a plan in the next couple weeks that I'm gonna have to provide to our council members. and it's going to have a relationship with these data that we're looking at on these specific locations. And this is one of them. 3,000 block of Meadowbridge in general is one of those hotspots in 4th Precinct that we've been able to establish, and we're going to come up with a plan to address and disrupt and try to mitigate some of the crimes we're seeing there. It's been a long-standing problem, but it's spiking right now. We were just, like I said yesterday at the press conference, we were just at a community event. 2 hours later, I get the call that we had 3 people shot at this location. And it was just disheartening because we know we've been focusing on that area. The officers of 4th Precinct have been doing a lot of work there, but we're gonna come up with a plan that's gonna try to address some of this.
Can we use what you're talking about as a part of our agreement?
Yes, we can definitely provide you with that form. And then, like I said, a lot of times people are happy to sign that form for us. But when it comes down to them getting a subpoena saying you have to come to court and say what happened that day, they're very hesitant to. We had that problem in RHA as well. And, I understand the issue surrounding trespassing can be somewhat complicated, but it can be effective if it's used right. And mainly, just the ability to say, I'm asking you to leave, otherwise we're going to call the police, and we have a letter of agreement to charge you with trespassing, that sometimes can affect it positively, even before the officers even get there.
Hey Chief, can you elaborate a little bit on there's another where officers go by businesses and sign a book just to show an occurrence, and a lot of times I forgot what that is.
Yeah, we call it Charles, it's a merchant book. So I don't know, and I have Active Major Davenport on the line here too. I don't know if we have a book there, but I'd be surprised if we don't. Are you listening, Don?
I am. Yes, and I think we already have an authorization for trespass agreement with that store as well. I don't know if there's a book there, but I know it's on our merchant check list. Our officers are marking out there, and they're marking out on the CAD system. And just remember, last shooting we had over there, the officers were in that store 10 minutes prior to.
Thank you for that. But we're going to have additional tactics we're going to be utilizing to try to disrupt and handle some of the issues there, both overtly and covertly. And we're going to be happy to share that with our partners in council and certainly the community later. And I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person tonight. I'm at my son's basketball practice, but next meeting, please invite me, Joe, and I'd love to speak in person. This has been challenging to listen on using the technology. I'm not in a great spot where I'm getting great audio, but it's been good when I've been able to listen. So I'm happy to come next time.
Anybody else online? Comments, questions?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. This is James J.J. Mountain giving you a call, and I hope and pray that all is well with each of you. I've heard many concerns. I think there are a lot of emotions that's up in the air, and by right it should be. However, I do want to say that I think we're moving in the right direction. Following the Councilwoman's lead as far as coming up with a community agreement, which the communities included, the businesses, and also, which are your neighbors. However, I do kind of feel that that store is a major problem.
Yeah.
When you allow folks to hang out in front of your place, that's a major problem. When you sell outdated meats and outdated bread in our community, that's a major problem. I saw it for myself. They had bread on there yesterday that said September 22nd. Okay, September 22nd. The councilwoman saw it. Others saw it as well. The news saw it. So for folks to say that it's not the problem, they are a part of the problem. So whatever you all decide, I'm with you. Let's come up with some common sense solutions. And also, for the solutions that we put in place, let's make sure it's permanent. because we know in the past that there's some folks who move into a store, open it up, move on by their business, and sell the store to a cousin or a family member, and then you have the same problem again. Okay? I'm just being real with it. So whatever we put in place, the teeth that we're looking for, let's make sure that the teeth and the bite is permanent. Thank you.
Do we have any questions? We'll start with the chat a little bit more. Anybody have any more questions on the chat? No? Yes, ma'am? He can run it the way he wants to, but as long as he contacts the police or city council or somebody that's what's going on outside the store, he can run it any way he wants if it's his business. We just want an agreement to stand that none of this is going to happen. We want to protect y'all and him as well, because he's a part of the business. Well, a part of the community. So, I mean, he can run it the way he wants to, but it's his business in the community. So he providing food, he providing water, he providing something to the community. So, but he can run his business the way he wants to, because
he can.
It's his business. He paid for that building, he paid the mortgage, he paid the rent, he paid the light. So he can run it the way he can. But as long as he follows that agreement, which we don't know what's on that agreement, as long as he follows the rules and regulations, we have no say so what goes on in his building, but we have to say so what goes on out that building.
That's what goes on out of here. That's where the Lord is here all day long. The time he opens the door until he closes the door.
But we can't tell him to
say so what goes on inside. Yes.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that part.
Yes, you said this. So inside the store and outside the store.
Things are in agreement.
See, I didn't agree with.
Yeah.
What I would like to offer is that we will work with the police department and others, and we have to. Some things have changed. We know this is a hot spot, and so we know there's a level of engagement that is above what is normal. We will continue to do that. just to hear a lot of problems, but not any strategic way as to how we're going to put solutions together. So that's exactly what we're doing. That's great. Okay.
You guys online? I'm sorry. If I don't have your, if you didn't get an email from me, can you please put your email in the chat box?
We go back into it so that we have a timeline that is reasonable that we will achieve. Because one thing I don't want to get is promise something we don't deliver. Okay? Give us some time to work together with
I'm looking at these people. Look, they're having a meeting on the phone. I mean, on the internet.
Other than just put it in the document. So, I don't want to give you a date right now. We're going into Thanksgiving and Christmas, and we want to make sure that the timeline that we give is reasonable, knowing that we're going to that big holiday. Thanks, guys. Okay. One other thing that we should think about also. Somebody asked what do we do as a community? So if he does this and he does what we ask him, what is it that we as a community can do to help him? Okay, so think about that also. Okay. Anybody else online? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, one quick question. So, mentioned a few bridges that they have in Southside. So, RBD has access to that agreement, right? So, sort of use that if people have a launch pad. If that's something that's
Yeah, you gotta ask Carol. We'll teach you how to do it.
some of that sort of whatever, so we're not starting. Right?
I don't even know how he did it.
Okay, awesome.
But I think you'll.
We're good. Anybody else online? If not, thank you for coming. And we will. We'll get this started. We'll get this started, and we'll get it done. Okay, we're going to get it started, and we're going to get it done. Okay. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Recordings.